now I have control. Volume, not that one, that's the master. This is the deck. And so I can bring that up. I can actually bump the gain if I want to.
And then, how do we monitor that headset?
Yeah.
Or what?
So, best practices is to be out of the room. Because even if you had closed back headphones on, you'll realize that your body is responding to vibration as well. And for the longest time, I tried to be a one-man show. Oh, I can mix the house and the live stream at the same time, and not realizing that bass vibrations, I had the bass really low in the system because I was feeling it.
Yeah. So you were absorbing it instead of it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you have to have somebody like step out there.
Yeah. That's best practices, okay. And it's not always realistic, but when all else fails, a good set of closed earphones. Especially if you don't have like a subwoofer in the room, it's a little easier. They do a better job of blocking high frequencies and mid frequencies.
So we're plugging it into the mixer?
Yeah, so I would plug it in here, and then I would go in and solo your aux bus, whichever bus you're streaming with. So you can solo that in your headphones right here.
And then, phone level.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, you can get a good idea, especially when, it's not as bad when it's just speaking. You can look at the levels.
Like the drums and stuff.
Yeah. You can kind of look at the levels when it's just speech and say, oh, that's adequate level. But when it's music, you have to mix it. Are the tenors too loud? Are the sopranos too soft? Kind of thing. And so you kind of need to hear it.
But we can also listen, because sometimes he'll just have his AirPod in. You can do that.
You can, but there's, depending on your equipment and your bandwidth, it's sometimes 15, 20 seconds of latency. And so you're making a change 15 to 20 seconds after it already happened, kind of thing. And it could change back, just kind of depending. There are, especially with the software encoder, now that's on the network, you could, with a computer, set up a computer and some speakers, a computer and a headphone in another room, and get somebody an iPad and mix on that.
So you were talking about using the room upstairs, like to have someone else. So would we do that, or would we just do what you guys have been doing, or what would that look like?
I think we have to figure out the logistics, how many people, because we don't want to we want to be able to say, all right, you're on first and third, you're on second and fourth, a couple of groups of people work together, versus everyone having to do it every single week. Mm-hmm. So I think we have to figure out the logistics of that. So if we were to do that, and say someone just had their laptop or whatever, is that what you're saying? Say we're in a different room, someone has a laptop with the headphones, we got the iPad, and we can make the adjustments for the streaming sound? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because the iPad is already connected, and you can make separate adjustments on the audio that everyone doesn't hear out here. So maybe we can
on the app you can lock it to a specific aux bus.
So we can maybe do that. We have to figure out what works.
Yeah. I can say, I don't know, maybe the Wi-Fi connection, unless we do LAN in the room up there, was not the best before. So then it'll be interesting to know what that connection is if we were to go right upstairs.
And that's where the router is. But then also that's open.
Right.
So then the sound is still
right.
And it's actually
exactly it's right here.
Directly.
Yeah, and so the protocol is called NDI. a network digital interface where it gets you high quality, low latency video and audio, basically. But it is bandwidth intensive, and so if you don't have a good Wi-Fi connection, then
Mute point.
it's gonna be, it'll be a rough signal. But it's pretty easy to run a cable. Especially
Would that
if
be
you have
the
call space.
best practice to run the cable?
I always, yeah.
Okay.
So, best practice is to blanket your campus with Wi-Fi, but for vital functions, always go wired.
And what did you say NDI meant?
Network digital interface.
Oh.
So it's basically the IP version of this cable right here.
Okay.
This is an analog, the cable that we used to use for cable TV. The same type of equipment, it's just a different connector on it. It's called an SDI cable. And it's industry standard for like TV studios and stuff like that. NDI is trying to take over because you can run it over
A lot of-
network cables.
So basically just with Zoom for now until we transition to, I guess, separate streaming services, I guess, like SAP school versus church service.
Yeah.
Once we
You want to look at it?
go, to want to make
Did you
sure.
get in?
Yes.
Okay. And I really want to fix that.
I think, you talk about like the resolution?
Yeah.
I think it was, I think your dad said it was, what did he say? The video card. Because he tried to look
So
at
you
that.
need a new one?
Yeah, he said it was a video card.
Okay.
He said it wasn't, like, I guess, like, strong enough,
Not
high enough
capable.
to be able to get, like,
21.9?
the high resolution. That was, yeah, because a couple weeks ago, he was, like, messing with it. And that was it. The video card.
So you need a bigger video, a
Yeah.
larger capacity.
Oh, yeah, he said to talk to you about what it could be. But yeah, that was the reason that we're not like,
Okay, so
Get a higher
I'm
resolution.
You're on.
You're looking for like an external one?
What's wrong with the resolution?
it's not, it should have like more,
So is this,
more like HD, like higher resolution.
so is this just the onboard
I assume it's
card?
I think it has an actual graphics card. in it.
It's got an actual graphics card.
a separate one?
I remember I looked in there once.
Yeah, that's the one Timmy's dad, yeah,
Yeah. But Dylan was trying to
Different
like
thinking.
increase the resolution
yeah.
and he couldn't get it. And he said, the video card or something like that.
So you need
So it's
a
actually, so I guess theoretically it's a resolution increase only because it's wider, but it's the same pixel pitch.
It does have a graphics card.
It does?
He said it's
What are we
awesome.
talking about?
Can you imagine? When was that at Timmy's dad? See how technology.
It's been about
Oh,
3 years.
450.
It's
Yeah.
450.
Three.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, I think it's
this is 25,
Yeah,
one I
because it was
had
during the
Wow.
pandemic.
Before
22,
I upgraded my
Almost
PC,
3
the
years.
one I had is better than that.
almost 3
Yeah, I
years.
just use donations.
Okay.
So then what
thanks.
size, what
Just have it in
size
a
does it
box.
have to be?
So you can bring it? Alright.
A more current one, a more high?
Not much better, but
hoping it
He
has
said
enough
So
it's
power.
what would
better
be-
than that.
What would be better than the one you have if you're saying it's not much better?
What kind of one do you have?
the one I have that I took out was a GTX 1060. It's
Yeah.
better than that, but
That'd be better than that.
Okay.
But what, okay, so,
Would be a good price? I don't know, maybe like a 60 right now?
What would be a good one to put in
I
there?
bought a RX 5700 XT for 200.
Yeah,
200.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, graphics cards are,
They're expensive.
and they're gonna get more expensive.
The newer ones are like 500 to.
Aren't they using them for data mining, like crypto?
They were, that's why everything was so expensive like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I got like 30, 70, like right after the boom stopped. And it was rough.
So that's 200, maybe 300 for the size of
Yeah, like a
So that could be part of our issue then.
I mean,
Not necessarily like that, but just,
so then, so what are the benefits of
improving.
improving the graphics part? Like what
So
would we
right
get
now,
with it?
everything's stretched. So
It's just the.
it's literally just making everything wider, if you will. Because this is sending an image that's this side,
Gotcha.
size, and pulling it out.
And we
So-
want it to be the same size.
You want, yeah, so right now, it's not, the drum set is not that
For
wide
us.
kind of thing.
But it's only for us in-house, but not on
Yes.
YouTube.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it still needs to be done.
Okay, so it's only for us that it's stretched
Do you think so?
on the Zoom?
I mean, I don't know if it
And
needs,
not on,
as far as streaming
not
goes.
on,
Not on the live.
not.
Oh, no, not for streaming.
Yeah,
I
just
just,
streaming.
It's
I-
just
it's just
for
hard
right
to-
here.
I was wondering,
On
yeah,
this
Is it
monitor.
all that it's
I was wondering what
for
kind of
or
Wi-Fi
gonna
it
do,
is.
or is there
Is it
some
just
other
like
part of it?
2.4?
That's why I
I
was
think
asking.
that's just what happens when you stream.
I wired it, it's wired.
Oh, it's white. Okay, I was wondering. I was looking for it. I was
So
like,
it's just what we're seeing on
Yeah,
this
yeah. Okay.
monitor right here.
Okay, so what's the advantage of changing it?
And
Just
I-
bringing it up to better
It's-
specs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a priority thing. Because it's not like a
I'm just trying to
performance
find
thing.
out. But the other one is a
But
private,
that's
right?
what I was
What's
asking.
going on? Wait, I need to see it. What's happening with the screen, like how it's stretching?
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
So you're
It's
talking
in
about
1920 by 280.
when the camera's on and when somebody's up there, what we see.
yeah, but
Say
That's
that
what you're
one more
talking
Sorry,
about.
just
When
real-
the
just
camera's
real quick.
on, pastor's up there,
So,
and when we see him on the screen, you're talking
time. It's
about
just
what we
anything
see.
we're looking on
for
this,
Zoom,
this right here.
Okay.
just enable this external output,
Because Dawn was like, it
And
should
you'll
be,
get-
have more clarity.
Oh, I see.
The picture
you'll
should
get
be cleaner.
So it's
vMix
like
video as an
selected
option, as a video option.
In the manner of speaking.
Like, you know,
So,
they're in the TV,
when they wanna
you
do
have
that
aspect ratio, and it goes like this,
Yeah.
and then
Just
you
enable
zoom
that,
in.
Yes.
choose
That's,
vMix video.
that's,
Okay, so then it's a cleaner picture.
yes.
So let's do it.
It's not a thing for the, what anyone else is seeing, it's just what we're looking at,
I still think it's good to get it.
so.
Yeah, it's a 21.
So, but yeah, that's just, you know, you guys are trying to get this website.
Whether he's here or not, we need a website.
Right.
But, yeah, so that's why I was asking about that.
So, yeah, it's there's an external output button on the bottom. I showed them, but when you enable that, you'll get vMix video as a video option in
They
Zoom.
just need to come and play around with it and what's.
So like the main thing before we leave is because my husband opens up and he knows how to set it up,
Yeah.
but just want to make sure that like now it's not OBS, so he knows click click click,
Oh, okay.
and
All
then
right.
let it let everybody else do what they gotta do. That's yeah.
Got you. I'm the startup guy.
And then it just sounds like in terms of a little more of the intricacies of the software and stuff like that,
Mhm.
like they got a good grasp of it,
Yeah.
right? So we're all like finding our little niches and
I'll come back and I'll be ready to learn from you guys.
like I saw some pretty good videos I watched last night.
Yeah.
I'll send to you guys of vMix and like we can get the lower thirds to look like this or look like that, like how to edit that, and
Maybe it's.
that could be helpful just for finding what will fit for us. Yeah.
So aside from the video cards, the other thing was the,
The wireless mic.
yeah,
The
the
mic.
wireless mic.
So with that, this opens up a lot of other possibilities right
But
there.
that's more for
right
the
into that one.
podcast aspect,
Yes.
right?
Oh, you're right. So something that you could use in-house as well?
Well, I mean, I know that, like, she said he doesn't like walking around holding the mic, so, you know, if he has the kit, whatever, then it's like, it's a lot easier to maneuver and stuff, and then you don't have to hope that that little one is so short, you have to be bending down and stuff, you know.
How's your feedback in here?
You mean from the pulpit mic?
Like, do you get feedback loops?
There's a little bit of a ring. So it's really weird. We've messed with the gain so you can hear pretty well. But every once in a while there is a little bit of a feedback. But not everybody hears it.
Okay.
They don't have the ear.
So lapel mics are omnis, and they're really susceptible. You almost never see them on stage. You'll see them often in like video shoots and things like that, where you're not amplifying audio, you're just recording. Yeah, you get the
Tyler Perry one.
countryman, the DPA kind of.
It kind of goes here behind.
Yeah, so they got 2 ears, or they've got a 1 ear as well. It costs a little less, but that's just an added expense because those are.
A little change.
It costs a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bi or a mono, right?
A what?
Bi or the mono? Which is one?
So it's still just a single mic,
Okay.
but it's just more steady when you're hanging it on your head as opposed to one ear. The speaker feels a little better about it, and it doesn't move as much. But I can send you some options for that. I would get a cardioid. Like the majority of them are also omnidirectional, and so you kind of shoot yourself in the foot if he likes himself in the monitor. Does he like to hear himself in the monitor?
He doesn't talk about that at all.
He doesn't?
No, he doesn't mention that. It's just a matter of he just wants his hands free.
Okay. Yeah, then he definitely needs an over ear. Well, those body packs almost always come with a lapel. So if you bought a lapel and an over the ear, then you can have the lapel for a podcast and over the ear for this.
You can use the same thing
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Yeah, just pull it off the board, pop it up top. And then the settings.
Pull off the board too.
So if you're using it, if let's say he uses on Sabbath, it would need to be plugged into the Behringer. But if he wants to do a podcast, you just unplug. Now, plug it in.
And then just wear it.
And then there's some settings on here, but they're pretty straightforward. I can send you a video on how to set up audio for this.
Yeah. I feel for the time being, like,
Focus on
on
the sanctuary.
Like what we have
Yeah.
is adequate.
Yeah.
In that regard. I just want to know, like, when he says, "Okay, I want to, podcast," I'm like, then we're not like texting you like,
How much? Quick.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Get ahead of that a little bit.
I mean, he has a running tab of what we have in terms of budget, so
Yeah.
that's something to consider.
I think it is that.
So it's like, surprises.
So it's trying to
This is what we have for now, and if we're gonna do something else, then we'll have to like pick this. Let's do
It's not.
Because you know how you can pop in with a grand idea, and then we're trying to. I don't want to be
Scramble.
catching up. I want to
No.
be like, this is what we know we can handle.
I thought you might ask.
So,
Got you.
It's just annoying.
you guys figuring?
Yeah. We think it's just because it's trying to match the projector resolution with the computer resolution, so it's just
Really?
stretched out.
Even as an extended display? What if
Well,
you
see, I
unplug
did
it?
try that, and then it was still stretched out, which is why I'm like,
Did you unplug it?
unplug it. How do I plug it?
The projector?
Oh no, we can't do that.
No?
That's up there.
It's up in the ceiling.
Like
But it's gotta
physically.
It's got a
come
connection.
from it's coming from here. I need to unplug it on this end,
Oh.
just to see if you can get, just for troubleshooting. But,
Yeah, it's not a huge problem. It's not a problem.
It's
So
just
we
like
don't-
just a certain eye.
So we don't need another car.
You can just bring the one that he had, that he
Yeah.
took out.
Yeah,
Okay.
you shouldn't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to buy one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Careful, there he is.
glad they know. I mean, it's kind of cool to learn it, but ooh, it takes a minute. Foreign language. That's okay though.
How you guys comfortable using the camera?
So
She walked
there-
us
The attention settings and everything?
So her daughter typically runs it.
Okay.
So out of everyone, she's probably the most comfortable.
Okay, okay,
So it's just a matter of now integrating more
Understood.
people.
understood.
You
I
see up and
started
down
this
on the
morning,
left.
and then I
right
got
to
off
left.
rather quickly because I was like zooming too fast, or it was just like,
Oh, so
but
then some
then
of the
like
questions.
that's driving, you know, I gotta.
Yeah,
For instance, and I think Alicia went over that too. If someone's at the front, we're kind of zoomed in on them, like maybe half of the podium. If they shift, we follow them slowly. If we're panning out, we're picking up more
Yeah.
people in the audience. And is there a point at which we need to, how do you say this? Like, how far is too far, or how near is
Yeah.
too near? You know, just so you're not up in their nose. or,
right,
You know.
absolutely.
that kind of-
So your basic shots are your well, establishing shot, I'll say that first because that's appropriate here. So like you think of a movie, and in the credits they'll show you like the city, establishing location. Then they'll show you the neighborhood. Then they'll show you the house. And then they might show you a whole room. And then somebody starts talking and they'll show you a mid shot.
Okay.
And so your establishing shots are, you know, we never think about it, but for a producer, you think in terms of, well, I want this person that's online to experience as much of what's happening in the house as possible. And so when we start our program, we'll always start with a wide shot, as long as we have enough people in the audience.
Right.
We'll start with a wide shot, and then as somebody comes up on stage, we'll go to a full, so I can see from their toes to their head. And it's not on here. Oftentimes, and I can add it if you'd like, but there's safe rectangles. It will show like 90% of the screen and 80% of the screen, and you kind of want to keep
Within
that person within 90%
Is
of
it
the
like
screen.
like a third or whatever?
So there's the rule of thirds as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, this is slightly different from that.
Does it have the dots, like on a point and shoot camera? Does that one also have the 1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5
like
dots?
facial recognition, those are focus points.
More
Focus
like
areas.
focus points to like, because one of them's right smack in the center. Does that have that? as
This one looks for a face. This is slightly different with the video camera. It's actually looking for eyes, nose, and mouth. And it's going to find
well? And
the
clear it up.
closest one
Yeah.
and focus on it in autofocus, if you will. But you generally want to imagine if there's a rectangle here, and I'll turn it on as soon as I get a sec. But there's a rectangle that represents the inside 90% of the screen, and so it's probably 2 millimeters from the top, the bottom, and the sides, if you will. You want their head to be inside that rectangle and their toes to be inside that rectangle. Same thing if you do a mid shot. You want their waist and their head to be inside that rectangle, if you will. I almost never do an ultra close shot because people hate it, and it gives almost no context unless I'm focusing on a specific facial expression if he's trying to imitate or something like that. So I'll almost never get in closer than a mid, and I'll only get there when he's like in the message. And I want the people online to be focused on him. Because if I pull back too far, stained glass window,
Somebody
Yeah.
doing something.
yeah. And so as he warms up, I'll slowly zoom in from a full to a mid.
So
And
we're different than you guys. Like in Rubidoux, you guys have open stage.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pastor's not tall,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you guys
Real talk.
noticed, so I intentionally put those mics down, because after the first couple times,
It shows up.
I realized when we had it to where we would stand, like if you sang, the mics were here, and he's standing here. The optics of it.
What, the mic
The
stands?
mic stands on the side.
Yeah.
Yes. There, you saw a
Really?
Yeah. So that's why
Okay.
they have been down
Yeah.
for that, because I'm like,
Yeah. Stuff you don't think about in live.
and I
It
saw
shows
that.
up.
So
Yeah.
little things like that. Yeah, we don't have full body, but
Oh,
you
okay.
can't
I
make
see what
it
you're
sing.
saying.
So like,
Yeah, it looks like.
so like,
Oh, shoot.
right?
Yes.
That was one of
So then that's when it was like,
Today?
yeah, so that's why now they're like that,
Yeah.
but that's how it was 2 weeks ago. Like,
Gotcha.
I finished singing, I didn't put it down. So
You
that-
were singing?
so,
That's yours?
but probably
not
2 weeks
bad.
ago, yeah, I
Yeah.
did that. So if I don't put it down, they're like if we leave
the
it,
tower.
2 mics or like that. So it looks bad, right?
I'm
Right.
sorry. That's you singing?
Well, no. So I think I finished singing on that mic, but when he comes up,
But that's level. That's at the level of your mouth.
When you're in heels.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
He's trying to clear.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, yeah. Because no, I took the mic off the stand, right?
Oh, I
Mic off
see.
the
I
stand.
see.
But when he comes to preach,
Oh, okay.
the mic
Oh, man.
is
Towers.
up there,
Yeah.
and before we had 2 mics just there.
Standing there.
Yeah.
from
Yeah, yeah,
before.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was like we need to lower the mic,
Got you. Got
the
you.
mic,
got you.
the mic stand, because
What about like a carousel? Like a 6 mic holder?
we had
We had one before, we haven't had one anymore.
Yeah.
So little things like that,
Sure,
like we should
sure.
lower the mic because it.
And those are wired.
Those
There.
two.
Those two are wired.
Okay.
But
Because we did have one before. Like
no,
we-
we've never had a carousel. That's where you just put the holder. Yeah,
Oh,
we've never
I
had
thought we
that.
had one.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So back to the original question, how
How do you do it full?
close? Because how do we make it not look like he's, yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, not having the back of people cut.
Oh. All right. Let me just pause real quick. So remember we talked about weight and balance.
A little bit, yeah.
So like
we
this.
talked about it, but it's definitely not.
So for anybody that's running the camera, be sure to balance it first. So like when it's loose like this, it should just sit. It should just sit.
So
So
he loosened it up, guys, and the whole thing just tipped up.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So
No, it's okay.
that's where.
So you balance it by sliding the camera forward or back. So like when it's back here, if it's loose, it's just gonna fall back. So I wanna make sure that it's balanced, and so that I don't have to lock it in place every time I wanna hold a shot. And so this is almost all the way forward, but we'll rock with that. And then I can tighten it on this side. The reason you want some tension is if there's no tension whatsoever and I hit it, it's gonna move. It's gonna move for sure. But if I add some tension, I have to add pressure, like real pressure. And the more tension you have, the smoother your moves are as well, because it's for sure. And so this is tension. This is a lock. The only time it should be locked is when you step away from
Okay.
it. Yeah. Otherwise, you got a hand on it.
So the
and
left
it's not going
will-
anywhere.
Help with the forward, back tilt, and the
Yes.
left-right tilt as well.
The left-right
Or
tilt
swivel.
is here. The left-right tension is here, and the
Okay.
lock is on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I can add tension here, or decrease tension there. And if I want to lock it in place, this is kind of in the way. I can lock that in there. But for the most part, when it's balanced, you don't have to lock it. You just add some tension, and then you just kind of go where you need to go, and it stays. But yeah. So I mean, that's almost,
You guys, there's water here too. There's water.
that's almost, I mean, because he's,
He's a little, he's like,
5. How tall?
with shoes 5'2". With
He's
shoes.
a little bit taller. Is it 5?
It's 5?
You know she said how tall am I? Like 5'2" with shoes on.
Oh,
So
he's
yeah,
about 5'4",
4.
5'5".
yeah, he's like,
is he?
I know I'm
Yeah.
taller than him, not 5'6".
yeah.
Okay, okay,
So,
all right, all right. Well, I mean, a full shot then in that case is gonna be mostly pulpit anyway. But you could still get it, you know, like an establishing full shot. I mean, can't see. And then you have the whatchamacallit as well. Yeah, yeah, I might start like a full stage. Of course, you're coming out at like, probably coming out of praise anyway, or some type of song or
Something.
meditation. And then, you know, kind of like a slowly zoom in as a slow zoom as he starts to speak. And, you know, until you get to, you know.
Yeah, I know a lot of our pastors sit on the front row. They don't necessarily sit on the podium anymore. So
Okay.
usually he's on the first row on the left, and he'll walk.
And a walk up. Got you.
so I
Got you.
think where that graphic can come in is like, all right, whoever's done singing is walking off, like
Put the
some
graphic.
whatever graphic, and you don't see
Yeah.
all the extra movement, or when the kids are picking up offering after the story or something. But yeah, I guess if you can, I guess the lines or whatever.
Yeah.
the reference point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is there more lemons in the kitchen? You know?
I saw a big bag of lemons.
Yeah, she sent a text and I left lemons in the kitchen for everyone.
No, I know, but I don't know. That is for,
Oh.
There are 2 bags.
there's 2 bags.
Okay. Is the kitchen open?
Yes.
We did some for
So can we just see how the, like,
Started up.
yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna laugh very much longer.
I just need I guess the
Not
reference
anything
lines.
with you, it's just me.
Okay.
When the sun goes away.
It's time. It's time.
My body just, it's like it's time to sleep.
You're old.
So then would be maybe buying more types of buildings.
Yeah.
Well, Chris has a friend at work too that is gonna give him some like references too. So. We'll see.
There's sometimes I'm a claim old.
This is
In
one of
this
them?
particular instance, I'm old.
Have mercy.
You know, we pick and choose when we want to use it. This is a perfect time.
Stay with the young people. Can stay young.
Oh, it's plug it in, test it, see.
Let me see. Do I still need to
Pretty
stay
sure that
on?
won't fix anything.
Or
Oh.
we're good?
We just need to just do a run through on the startup process, and
Oh.
then I think,
Okay. Want to do that now?
yeah, that way.
Is it time to do
Just want to make sure the startup process.
it? Oh.
All right, I'm gonna save this preset. Shut it. Go. Shut down the stream.